It's the Scotty Myers Show.
Hey, how's it going this week? Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Scotty Myers. Hopefully you are having a fantastic week so far. As I left you last week, I was preparing to move, and that happened. And you know how sometimes you move and it rains and it's a pain in the ass? Our move decided to happen during a hurricane. Not that that was our intent, but it's what happened. We got hit with Hurricane Dorian pretty much right in the middle of the move. And, you know, we moved over a big bunch of stuff before it hit on Saturday. But then Saturday, we couldn't get back to the house. There's hurricanes, power was out. There's still people with power out right now, even though it's been almost a week as I record this, just a couple of days shy of a week. And moving in a hurricane is not fun because you're sitting there thinking, well, okay, we're stuck in and I can, you know, unpack boxes while I'm waiting for the hurricane to pass, and then I can go, get more boxes. But I didn't remember where I packed the fucking flashlights. As soon as it got dark, the work ceased. It was just, well, now we sit here. That was about it. So very counterproductive. And the move, like everything is still not unpacked. And I know that takes a while, but it was really slowed down because of the bad weather. And then on top of that, you're never done moving. You know, like you're always like, okay, this is my last trip. I've loaded up the car. I think I can fit everything. And then you look and you're like, fuck, there's another stack of boxes. So that's another trip. And then once you finally get all the stuff and you move your stuff from the one place to the other, you got to go back and clean and make the place all nice and shiny for the new people. So then you're trying to do that, and it's never ending. Even though now, like, all the boxes are done, we did the cleaning, the house is sold, we're in our new place, I still kind of feel like, did I forget anything? Is there something that I left back in there? You know, at least thankfully now porn is just digital on the computer, because I'm sure back in the day there were so many magazines and adult movies accidentally left behind because they were put in that special secret hiding place, and you just kind of forget about those types of things when you move. Thankfully, that's not an issue anymore. But so the move is done, and I did get everything set up in time for football on Sunday. And I did get power back pretty much halfway through the day. So I missed most of the early games, but caught some of the late games. So that was all I cared about, really. Don't tell my wife that, but really that was my only goal was, can I get the TV set up and everything going in time for football? And then once the power went out, it was like, can the power please come back in time for football? And thankfully it did. So that's all great. It's still being unpacked, but still everything rolling along pretty well there. As I record this show, I am on the road yet again. A couple weeks ago, I was in Florida. Now I am in Austin, Texas. I started a new job. And the Florida trip was personal. This one's business. And I'm down here in Austin for the week and, teaching some people how to use some equipment and stuff like that. But it's a blast. If you've never been to Austin, holy crap, this is a cool town. Just so much fun stuff to do. And if you enjoy barbecue, get your fucking ass to Texas. And then on top of that, get yourself to Austin. It's so good. And it's everywhere. It's not even like you have to ask locals, where's a good barbecue joint? Because everything we've had so far, good, and it's just abundant. It's just literally, you drive down the street and you're driving past barbecue joint, barbecue joint, barbecue joint, barbecue joint. So it's not even hard to find. And we went to a place yesterday called Franklin's Barbecue. Now, my boss took me there because according to reviews and critiques online, it was voted the best barbecue brisket in the world, which is pretty lofty. And so we waited in line. You have to wait for this. It's so damn good. People line up before the restaurant opens. And we were there. We waited about 2.5 hours to get some brisket. And let me tell you, I have not had all the brisket in the world, but I cannot argue with the fact that it very well may be the best damn brisket on planet Earth. Because it was so good, so tender. You didn't even have to cut it. You put your fork in it and it fell apart. And the flavor was good. Whatever their spices are in their rub, it was fantastic. I also had barbecued turkey, which I'd never had before. So good. Had a rib. We had a lot of meat. They asked us if we wanted sides, and we were like, no. It was actually when we were standing in line, we were talking about his sides. Fuck no. More room for meat. I want all the meat. And that's what we did. And we had so much we couldn't even finish it. We had to take it for leftovers. But even when we're thinking about eating more, you ever eat so much, you get to the point where like, I can't even look at it. No matter how great it is, I did not want to open that bag and see more brisket. I was like, I had too much. I had way, way too much. But shout out to Franklin's Barbecue. Not that they need it. They're doing fine. But if you're ever down in Austin, make it a list on your to-do list to check out Franklin's Barbecue. So good. My colon has not recovered, but regardless, outside of that, it was worth the colon pain for Franklin's Barbecue. Now, we live in very, very trying times. You know, there's a lot going on in the world and a lot of negative stuff going on in the world. You know, it's not a pleasant time on planet Earth, and everybody's always looking for signs of the apocalypse, right? Like, it's one of those things where people try to read prophecy, or they try to, you know, connect the dots on something and go, yes, it is the time, the end days, or whatever. And if you're looking for another sign of the apocalypse, there is talk coming out of the Toronto International Film Festival that Adam Sandler, who I like Adam Sandler. I do think he's funny. Some of his movies are absolute shit, but I do like Adam. I think he's pretty good. But there are rumors that his new movie Uncut Gems could lead to an Oscar nomination for Best Actor for Adam Sandler. So just let that sink in for a minute. Happy Gilmore could win an Oscar for Best Actor, which when you think about it and think about all the shit that Adam Sandler has taken over the years for his movies, like that last one he did on Netflix was a murder mystery. Mike, that was bad. His stand-up special on Netflix was fantastic. That murder mysteries one, that was brutal. But that guy could be nominated for a Best Picture, and I believe that is a biblical prophecy. I believe it's I don't know what palm and verse it is, but it says, when the once funny man is nominated for an Academy Award, thou shalt knoweth the end is nigh. I think it's something like that. I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but still, Adam Sandler could win an Oscar. What a crazy, fucked up world we live in. And that's coming from a guy that likes him. On to our off story of the week. This one is hilarious on many, many levels. And the headline that made me scream, oh, for fuck's sakes, just said, married man dies of heart attack while cheating, and it's called a workplace accident. So I had to look into this. This has been in the court system for quite a few years, but this happened in France. There was this traveling businessman. He's off on a job, left his wife at home, and he meets some girl while he's off on the job. They go back to his hotel, have sex, and in the middle of it, he has a heart attack and dies. Which to me is kind of why I don't think I would ever cheat, because you can't deny it at that point. There's no getting out of it, and you're dead. But what a shitty way to go. Seriously. You know, nobody can deny that you were a bit of a scumbag if that's how you go out. But anyway, that's how this guy went out. And somehow it got into the court system that this should be deemed a workplace accident. Now, for the record, this guy was not a porn star. That is where I think it would be deemed a workplace accident if he was on set fucking and had a heart attack and died. That is a workplace accident. This guy was just a regular Joe, like not in the porn industry. So he travels, he dies, and it goes back and forth in the court system, and they finally just declared a ruling that it was a workplace accident. And this happened in France. So when you die in a workplace accident, this is what happens in France. His wife will now get 80% of his salary for a many more years. So she's going to get almost all of this guy's salary. Hopefully he was making a pretty penny, all because he died in a workplace accident. Now, in my mind, that's got to take the edge off of him cheating a little bit. Because now, not only does she not have to put up with his cheating ass, but she gets 80% of his salary for a bunch of years. And I think it's only right. You know what? She should take this salary and just lavish herself with it. You know, if she wants to have a little work done, do it. If she wants to surround herself with boy toys and get banged every which way possible and shower these boy toys with gifts, she should do it. And it should always come from that dude's money. Because if there is an afterlife, whether you believe it's heaven or we just shift to another plane, but we're ghosts and we can still see what's happening on this plane, if that guy can look in and see that she's getting railed better than he ever gave it to her, and she's enjoying life more than she ever enjoyed it while he was around, and at the end of the day, it's all kind of on his dime, that is some sweet, sweet revenge. Because I'll tell you right now, as a guy, there is nothing more frustrating than when an ex or something like that gets to do something great or gets to enjoy something great and it was yours or it was your money. Like if you're living with somebody, this is a very low case scenario, but if you're living with somebody and you get kicked out and you don't get to take like the big ass TV that you bought for whatever reason, and then if you just sit down and think about the fact that she's at home watching probably some shitty drama TV show on the giant 65 plus inch TV that you bought for sports, it hurts. It hurts a lot. So if she's doing all this with, you know, a bunch of different dudes, she's making herself feel great, she's buying herself expensive things, all with money that basically he earned from his job, if he's a ghost, he is going to be sitting there screaming offs. On to the geek news of the week. We're going to start with the Joker movie. We've been talking a lot about the Joker film, and as you heard, it got an 8-minute standing ovation at the Venice Film Festival. It now also has been awarded the top prize at the Venice Film Festival, the Golden Lion. Very prestigious award, and this just adds more fuel to the fire that we're going to see the Joker movie nominated when Oscar season rolls around. We've heard rumors, Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Director, and when it wins a top prize like this at a film festival, it just builds on those rumors, and it's playing TIFF. I have a feeling it might walk away with some awards there. The future is very bright for the Joker film, and it opens October 4th. But since it's being screened at these festivals, reviews are pouring in, and it's creating a bit of a controversy on Rotten Tomatoes. Some critics have given the Joker a 3 out of 5. However, when it's getting that rating on Rotten Tomatoes, it's coming up rotten. But some people noticed, hey, Marvel movies that have been given a 3 out of 5 are certified fresh. What's the deal? It looks like it's just a problem in the algorithm. However, there has been online conspiracies that Rotten Tomatoes plays favorites, and they tend to lean more Marvel and Disney compared to the other studios. Now, they have found other examples of like Mission Impossible movies and that type of thing, getting the 3 out of 5 and getting rotten or getting fresh. So it doesn't look like it's a flat out Marvel or Disney conspiracy. Again, I think it's probably a problem in the programming. I think Rotten Tomatoes needs to address it. They either need to flat out make a 1 and 2 rotten and a 3, 4, 5 fresh, or make 3 something else, like On the Vine or something, for people that are undecided. We don't know if it's rotten or it's fresh. I think that would be a good kind of middle ground. So that way 1, 2 rotten, 3 is still On the Vine, we don't know yet. 4, 5 certified fresh. Switching over to the Marvel Universe, although not the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but Marvel characters, Venom 2 is going to start shooting very, very soon, November 25th, pardon me, to be exact. And Andy Serkis is taking over the directing duties on this sequel. Tom Hardy will be back, but the biggest thing to me in this sequel that has me excited about it is the Woody Harrelson being Carnage. Woody Harrelson is such a brilliant, brilliant actor that he playing Carnage is just going to be fantastic. He's going to have fun with it. You know, he's going to be manic. He's going to be all over the place. It's things that Woody does very, very well. My only concern is you have such a great actor playing Carnage, and not that Tom Hardy's bad, but I think that Woody might steal the film. And then Sony's going to need to make a Carnage spin-off, and eventually we'll just keep getting spin-offs of every symbiote known to man. Why not? They're trying to build a universe over there based on just the Spider-Man character. So I could see a world where we get a Carnage solo film. Not sure how that one would look though, but it would be entertaining. As we approach the launch of Disney Plus, we are getting more information about The Mandalorian. Of course, November 12th is when that service launches with the first episode of The Mandalorian. And Jon Favreau has been talking about it. And he has said that we may see some characters that have been shifted into the Star Wars Legends category, brought into the main canon, because The Mandalorian is part of the main Star Wars canon now. We're going to learn how the First Order came to be in this show. And he was kind of hinting, he didn't confirm it, but when you think about Legends characters that Star Wars fans have been clamoring to see brought into the main series, you know, obviously we've already kind of had Thrawn brought in a little bit, but Mara Jade would be great. What if we see Luke Skywalker's wife in this show? And I know like that was a bone of contention with some of the books, but even if they just brought her in and didn't make her that, they have free reign with these characters. Be really, really cool to see what they can do with The Mandalorian. It's already been greenlit for a second season, so I think we've got lots of stories to tell in that show. And sticking with Disney and Marvel, a lot of fans going, hey, where the hell is the trailer for Black Widow? Well, if you do a little bit of research on when Marvel tends to release trailers, we are probably 3 months away from a trailer for Black Widow. They kind of have a system. And if you roll it back, they release trailers a certain point out and then another point out from the movie's release. So a lot of speculation saying that we should get a Black Widow trailer early December is when we'll get our first look at that film officially. There's been some leaked photos online. Looks good. I'm curious about that one. See how it works with obviously what happened to her character in Endgame. This has to be an entire prequel film, so we'll see how that works and what characters maybe they bring back for the prequel. Be kind of cool. That will do it for this week from Austin, Texas. One thing I forgot to mention down here in Texas, if you're following me on Instagram and the Facebook and the Twitter, if you want to follow us there, it's The Scotty Mars Show on Facebook and Instagram, at Scotty Mars on Twitter. You may have noticed I posted a picture of a water bottle that I bought down here, a bottle of water at a convenience store. The main reason why I posted it was it is Chuck Norris water. Chuck Norris owns a ranch down here, and apparently, according to the bottle, there's a well on that ranch. They have tapped into that well, and they are now bottling the water, and it's called Sea Force water. And I drank it, and I'll tell you right now, it is pretty damn good water. It is really good. It makes all other water seem dry in comparison. And then the more I read on the label, I actually found out why. It's not so much the water that's in there. It's 90% Chuck Norris sweat. He just sits out in the heat, they dab it off him, squeeze it into a bottle, package it, and sell it. I never felt more hydrated in my entire life. So if you can find it somewhere, get yourself a Sea Force Chuck Norris water, and you'll be ready to kick the world's ass. As I said, that'll do it for this week. Hopefully you have a great week. Again, follow us on all the socials. We got some more ratings and reviews again this week. Thank you so much for doing those. That's really helping grow the show. So continue with those 5-star reviews and ratings on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you want to leave them. It's so helpful. And until we chat again, have a great week.